Hello Scorpio, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Scorpio for the next 3 months. Now do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Scorpio, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, where we'll be taking a look at the period of time between October, November, and December. So we're looking at quarter 4 of 2025. We're now here in the home stretch of the year. Can't believe it, but we are here. So let's close out the year on a high note, Scorpio. And we'll go ahead and get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. Okay. Cool. And I think that's looking just about good enough to meet. All right, energy on the bottom. You do have the Chariot. Okay, so Scorpio, the Chariot here is a very good sign to find in a tarot reading. For the next 3 months, some of you may feel a sort of push or urge. The words are like push and urge to complete something or to realize something that you've been working towards. Okay, the Chariot, it represents success and victory, and also this idea of like charging forward through this, right? Like actually going forward and seeing the victory, seeing the success that you've been wanting to see come in. Okay, and with that, the Chariot also represents as above, so below. The actions we take in life really are very important. And so I see that within the next 3 months, some of you are going to go forward with something, okay, that you've been wanting to go forward with here, Scorpio. And I think that you will have a kind of sense of accomplishment is what I'm looking for. I think some of you will have a sense of accomplishment as you actually go through with something. Now, I do see some pretty significant I do see that some of you have had some pretty significant communication issues with some people. Okay, and I'm not even saying it's you who is the problem with communicating, but there is a significant communication issue here that is showing up for you to triumph over with the Chariot on the bottom over this next 3-month period. Okay, there really, really is. I see that you have been dealing with either heartbreak or some communication problems with somebody that you're romantically involved with, or this could even be an employment situation as well. But there is definitely a group of you that are dealing with some heartache here, okay? And I think that the good thing in this reading is that you are definitely turning over a new leaf. You are definitely getting something started as a result of this, but it's also something for you to overcome. It's a hurdle for you to surmount or overcome over the next 3 months, okay? And I will say that you will feel very accomplished. You will feel very good in solving this problem. Now, in the middle of the reading, you do have this King of Swords, okay? So the King of Swords is somebody who is a leader, okay? So I think that there's a bit of a call to leadership for you here over the next 3 months as you handle something that is, I think, a bit challenging, that is a bit tricky. Okay, this is also somebody who doesn't play favorites. This is somebody who sees a situation for what it is. Okay, they see all sides of the situation. They're able to put themselves in another person's shoes and also their own shoes as well, and look at the situation in an unbiased, logical way. Okay, so I think that some of you are being asked to do that here, Scorpio. Look at something in an unbiased, logical, is what it is type of way. Okay. And the other thing is with this King of Swords, it's possible that some of you are dealing with somebody pretty significant, and this person may hold some power. Okay, this person also could be an effective communicator. This may also mean that you are the one that's being called on to effectively communicate as well. But this person could be in a position of authority as well. If you are romantically involved with them, they might be pretty successful, or they may even be in the like. Mm, I would say that they're probably an expert, or they're kind of at the top of their field, so to speak. The King of Swords could be a subject matter expert. I would also say that there may be a lawyer involved for some of you here as well. I see a ton of swords, 1, 2, 3, 4 swords, okay? And it's all in this lower quadrant here, which is interesting, lower left quadrant here. So there could be, for some people, a legal situation that you're dealing with at this time. As well, it could be any of those things, okay? They may also be an air sign, okay, as well, just kind of broadly speaking. In the first column, you do have the Judgment card, the Page of Swords, and the Two of Swords here. Okay, the Judgment card is a card that is very strong in the tarot. It is about your karma, okay? It's your karma. And I do see that for some of you, you're sort of at this critical juncture, or this, the phrase might even be breaking point, okay? For some of you, the phrase might be breaking point with someone, okay? But you're at a critical stage here, okay? I do think some of you have reached your breaking point with a person, okay? I do see that. And it's not exactly easy to handle this, but the Judgment card says that what you do now is very important, okay? The choice that you have a choice to make here, and let me explain, but it's a critical choice, okay? I know that it's deep, but this suggests critical scenarios, because the Judgment card is the final card before you complete the world, or you complete the journey of the major arcana. So it means you're kind of at that final stage on something. You could also extend that out and say you're at your breaking point with something or someone, okay? In this case. And with that, you do have this Two of Swords here in addition. And the Two of Swords, it represents some sort of difficult choice that you have to make at this time. Okay, this person's kind of, you could say, on one hand, they are caught in a stalemate, or they're caught in a challenging situation here. Okay, and really, it feels like when you get the Two of Swords, you don't have a vision of the way out, as you see the blindfold that this person is wearing, okay? So it can come up when you've all had those scenarios where it's like, this is a really difficult choice. I see A and B, I see side A, I see side B, and I need to pick, or I need to choose. And again, this is a theme here for you with this King of Swords as well, all right? And in addition to that, you've got the Page of Swords here. So I think some of you have put this off for a little bit. Okay, I think some of you put this decision you've needed to make off. But during this 3-month stretch of time, as we close out the year, you will not be putting this off anymore. Okay, the universe is saying that it's time to decide. Okay, maybe you've needed a little bit more time prior, throughout the year, or whatever the case may be, to make this decision. Or you may have events that happen here that are just sort of like, okay, this is the final nail in the coffin. Like, I'm at my breaking point with this person. Page of Swords may even indicate difficulty in communication as well. Or just, you could think of like this as immaturity in communication, right? With the Page versus the King is a very mature communicator, experienced communicator, high-level communicator. Page of Swords may be somebody who is very smart, very intelligent, but a little immature when it comes to their communication, right? I'm sure you've all met somebody like that as well. So let's see what is in the middle column here. You have the Five of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Three of Swords. Okay, this column here, Five of Cups, King of Swords, Three of Swords, is a classic breakup column, I have to say, okay? It can be, because Five of Cups is heartbreak. You can even see, I like this illustration, this person has it's like the love locket in their hand here, right? The heart in their hand. And they're thinking about something that is, really sad to them, right? And you combine that here with the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak, right? You can see the swords going through the heart. It is separation, in the tarot. Breakup, divorce, separation can be shown in the Three of Swords. Combined with that, you do have a lawyer, potentially, in the middle here, okay, with the King of Swords. I do think that there is a group of you that have been contemplating formal separation from someone you've been involved with as well for a long time. And there may be some things that are stacking up here that are making it so that it's time for you to actually go through with this action. But this action is, it's not easy. It's not an easy action to take, right? This is not something that is simple, okay? Or it may be simple, but it's not easy, right? If that makes sense. So I do see that there is a separation here. Now, I think that for a number of people, this will be somebody that you are involved with emotionally, okay? So this could be platonic emotions, right? So this could be like your family members or a friend, or it could also be romantic as well. It depends on the scenario, okay? But some of you are separating from a person here. It's not easy to do, and you're at a critical stage with this, with the judgment. Where you go next is very important for your sort of like next steps. Like for the outcome here is up to you, okay? And how you handle the situation. It's a delicate situation because it's a situation that requires strong communication, right? So the way that you choose to do this is actually quite important in this scenario, okay? And so I think some of you are aware of that, and you've been gathering your thoughts. You've been kind of putting it off because it's tough. You don't want to deal with it, but it's here over the next 3 months, right? Let's take a look at the final column. You do have the Queen of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and the Page of Wands. Okay, so with the Queen of Pentacles, this is, well, first I should say, this is somebody who's trustworthy. This is somebody who can give you good advice as well. The Queen of Pentacles, practical advice. As an aspect of yourself, I do think that some of you are, when I see this card come up, you may be prepping or budgeting sort of like financially as well. This person is very good at saving, investing, these sorts of things, planning for retirement. The idea of planning can really show up when you get the Queen of Pentacles. You're kind of planning the next stages of this scenario here, and you're doing it in a practical way, okay? But this column here looks very good, and this is where I said the good news is for you in this reading is that things really will, things really have potential for you. You've got some great potential here. Two of Wands, it represents great potential in the tarot. You can see that this person is holding the world in the palm of their hand, realizing that they have a lot in front of them. Okay, this is not the end of the chapter. This is, while one chapter is maybe at a critical point here with the Judgment card, there's another one here that looks very good for you. Okay, so you realize that there's a hurdle for you to overcome here with the Chariot on the bottom and this kind of tricky communication situation, but there's great potential on the other side of this. Along with that, you have the Page of Wands, which is, it's a card of inspiration, and also, more broadly, it can indicate like job offers. In the tarot, when I see people seeking for jobs, I see this card come in. It's usually very good when you get the Page of Wands because it could indicate a formal offer. There's even like some money here with the the Queen of Pentacles. So it is also quite possible that if you're still watching and you're still with me here in this reading, that for some of you, the separation isn't a family member, it's not a relationship. You may have had some job issues, right? You may have been let go, or there may have been a separation connected to your work and employment scenario, and now you are kind of realizing the potential that you have despite that here. So let's see what else we have. We'll take a look at, let's move into the clarifications portion. I'm going to go and pull some oracle cards, and then we'll also pull some tarot cards. Okay, energy on the bottom, you do have Ariel, sacred activist, protect what is right and just, let love lead the way. Okay, protect what is right and just. Well, that is quite interesting, as King of Swords can indicate justice as well in the tarot. So definitely like to see that. I do see that you are, you definitely have some ground to stand on here. Okay, for sure. You have Amethyst, Metamorphosis, metamorphosis. You are in a vortex of deep transformation. Surrender to the process that's unfolding. As well as Metatron, heaven to earth, your current situation is in alignment with your mission on earth. That is the judgment energy where you've got something challenging to do, the judgment card and the chariot, but like it's time to do it. And when you decide to actually take on this challenge, you're going to realize that the universe is supporting you in that. You have Gabriel, divine emergence. It's time to be seen. Don't be afraid of your powers and gifts. As well as Zadkiel, karmic release. It's time to release what's holding you back and step into a more radiant self. These cards are really on point with what I am reading here, for sure. They're definitely a confirmation. Karmic release is strong with the judgment card, you know. There is something holding you back. It is probably a person, or it's probably a person, okay? And if you are here for employment stuff, it could really mean that there's like one bad apple and you're just really, really tired of working with that person. You're kind of at your breaking point with that person, you know? But it's also a delicate situation. The way you handle it is very important. Why don't we go ahead and pull some more tarot cards here for you, Scorpio. Do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. All right. Okay, you have the Three of Cups, you have the Sun, and Two of Pentacles. Okay, love this for you. The Three of Cups, you know, if I just look at these cards on their own, very good to find. Three of Cups, it represents rejoice, celebration, good times with others. It does indicate other people as well, though, okay? So this, if you think about this, this could be your social circle, it could be your friend group, it could be if you have sisters or other relatives as well, you know, anything like that. It can also indicate like third party, right? It could also indicate third parties. You don't love the combination of the Three of Cups and the Three of Swords. I will be real with you, and then you sprinkle in the Five of Cups. You definitely don't love that. There could have been a scenario here with the Judgment card where someone got involved with another person, and now you're just like, well, that's about it, you know. That's about it. That was the final, you know, I tried, you know, X, Y, and Z. Like, I really tried to do everything I could. It's possible that there's a group of you that are dealing with that, okay? The thing is, with the Sun and the Two of Pentacles, here's the thing. The Sun, however you handle this situation is super, super important, okay? So you are being guided to take on the energy of the Sun, which is confidence, happiness, positivity, okay? It's a card of positivity. So you can decide to be the better person, so to speak, to be the bigger person, so to speak, in this scenario, and handle this like a leader would, right? Which is to assert yourself, assert your boundaries, but do it in a way that, you know, comes across as firm, as strong, but also, you know, is not, it's something that you can look back on and be proud of yourself, that this is the way I handled it, right? Something like that is here for you here, Scorpio. You've got the Two of Pentacles, which can indicate change. Usually this connects to financial change, but it can talk about a scenario that's kind of up and down in your life as well when you get the Two of Pentacles. And it's there with the Two of Swords, so it's like you're navigating the change here. It's difficult, right? Two of Swords indicates difficulty generally, and you know, you're kind of having a hard time seeing the way out here. Okay, let's see what else we have. You have the Six of Swords, you have the King of Swords, clarifying the King of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Look, I have to tell you that this person has moved on, okay? If you're here for relationship stuff, this person's moved on. And the cards are asking you to move on as well. I know it's very direct, but that is what's happened here. Three of Swords, Page of Cups, you know, and then the Six of Swords, that represents moving on. It represents phasing out of something, phasing into something, new transitions in life, moving on. You know, comes forward with these Six of Swords. And now with that King of Swords, here it is once again. This is a double confirmation that there's a real call to leadership, and there's a real call to like skillful, tactful communication, okay? I also think that this person is Well, it's coming in again. So, there is a confirmation that this person is, uh, I guess the way that I would say it is that, actually, let me think about this. The King of Swords confirming this King of Swords is that you have a singular person that you are trying to there's a problem with one singular person and you are really trying to solve this problem, okay, is the way that I would look at it. Okay, and I also would say that this person has moved on. Okay, and I would also say that with the King of Swords coming in to confirm the King of Swords, like, they are not changing. Okay, like, this is the choice that they've made. This is where they are. This may even be who they are, at least now. It doesn't mean that they can't change later, but this is the choice that they've made. Okay, and now you have to make your choice on, what you want to do about this. Okay, the thing is that you are in a strong position in that you get to um, decide where to go from here. It's sort of like, I see you as, I don't see you as the problem here. Okay, is what I'm saying. You are not the problem in this scenario. Okay, and what's nice is you're in a position where you can sort of decide to be the bigger person, so to speak. Okay, you can be the better person, so to speak, and handle this in a way where you feel good. You feel good about what you did, and kind of like where you're going as well. Which you are going places, like with the Six of Swords, the Two of Wands, Page of Wands, the Chariot indicating moving forward. Like, you are definitely moving forward. You are going places here in this scenario. Yep, for sure. You have the Ace of Wands, you have the Eight of Pentacles, and you have the Knight of Wands. Wow. You are going to feel so good and excited and just high on life, proud of yourself after you deal with this scenario. After you move on from something or someone, I think. Okay, for some of you, this will be an employment or an employer scenario. For others of you, I think it'll be one singular person, okay, that King of Swords. And again, that person can show up in a variety of ways in your life. For some, it'll be romantic. For others, it will not. But yeah, it's very, very strong in this reading. But you'll be so excited. Ace of Wands is the spark of life, right? So you have the Ace into the Two of Wands here. It's the spark of life. It is getting super, super into something and excited about something. And it's sort of like being re-energized again. It's also the perfect card to start something, okay? I think if you are ready to start a business, start a side hustle, start a new relationship, if that's what you want, or start a passion project, that's what you want to see, the Ace of Wands. This is the time for you. Okay, there's a hurdle to overcome, but you're going to overcome it, and you're going to, I think, even enter into dedication around something. So the Eight of Pentacles is you being dedicated to something, usually employment or money, but it could be anything, okay? And I think that there's even a timeline here where some of you are starting a business or you're starting a passion project of yours here. And it may even be based around skills and talents and abilities. You've got the Jack of all trades with the Knight of Wands. This is also a card that may indicate moving, physically relocating, okay? With the Knight of Wands and the Six of Swords. You may be even moving for a new job opportunity or just moving and traveling generally. Some of you may be traveling as well. Chariot, Knight of Wands. But there's a timeline here where you're moving for a job with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. There's a timeline here where you're kind of exploring new cultures. That is, you're maybe even traveling internationally or just doing something that is foreign to you, to gain perspective or to gain understanding. And you now have the time and space and freedom to do this. It's a card of freedom as well. Okay, I think for some of you, you're going to feel really, really good about this. And the bottom here is the Empress. That is the mother of the tarot, but it's more so about abundance and nurturance, taking care of yourself, or taking care of yourself, I think in this case, is probably the answer. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the Kipper cards for you here, Scorpio. I love the way that this reading ended. I do recommend you stick around for the clarifications. You can skip forward, okay, in the reading, but the clarifications I've noticed really bring the reading together. And this is a really good example of that. You have occupation, adjudication, message of concern, family room. Yeah, see, for some it is family related. You have wealthy man and gift. There's a legal scenario for some of you, as I suggested here, with judication, and then the double King of Swords with all the other swords. Again, message of concern. This is about a tricky or challenging communication situation that you're involved in, for sure. That's a confirmation of that. There may even be something around a settlement here with gift and wealthy man. The family room, you could think there's a house card. Let me see here. Lovers. Is the house card on the bottom? No. Imprisonment. Some of you are ready to be out of this situation with this person. Yeah, and this definitely confirms that for some of you this is familial, and for some of you this is a romantic scenario, okay? And it may be that you have a family with this person as well. That could also be the case. But with the occupation card, I love this for you because it feels like you're ready to dedicate yourself to what you do. Like, instead of being wrapped up in somebody else's drama or whatever this is going on with this other person, like you're ready to dedicate yourself into something that you're really passionate about over the next 3 months. Okay, Scorpio, this is what I have. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.